This is advanced training for our automated strategy builder users. I'm going to be looking at just 4 today and combining them together and dovetailing them. There are some caveats with this, and one thing is that a lot of these different strategies are done on different time frames. For example, the range breakout is always on the 10-minute for oil. This is going to be all on oil. We cannot have, for example, I've optimized this and I'll go through it in a minute. The range breakout will be operational Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. The roller coaster can fight against that because it's on a much smaller time frame. So the roller coaster actually could put a short while we're on along with the range breakout. So that can only trade, and I've only optimized it on the days that the range breakout is not trading. So on a Monday and a Friday. The slingshot and the VWAP predator don't really fight against any of them. They're sort of with trend type strategies. So the VWAP as a certain move gains momentum, it may add a contract, and the same with the slingshot. And I'm going to go through 2 examples of that as well, purely because you need to be aware that if you're having these running at the same time and you've got 1 or 2 contracts, you'll need the margin to be able to cope with that. Okay, so basically these are the days of the week that individuals have been assigned and optimized for. So the slingshot's trading every day, the VWAP's trading every day, range breakout Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, roller coaster Monday, Friday. And then these are the times of the day that they are particular trading. So the roller coaster on a Monday and Friday is these times here. The range breakout on those days will be these specific times. And then the slingshot overlaps those and also trades in times when others don't as well. And the same with the VWAP here. There are certain times of the day when they don't trade as well. Need to change that to cyan. So we can see we do get a big cluster around this time, and that's purely because we have the oil pit open and the US market open as well. So there's a lot of volatility during that time, but again, it's each individual's optimized. Also, what I'd like to do is on my spreadsheet, as I keep an eye on every week of the performance of everything. So some of the main factors, so this is the range breakout for CL. So we've had 8 trades in 90 days. Not a lot, it's very specific days of the week and specific times. There's an 87% win rate. We have an average of $2,800 profit per month down here in green. The ones in cyan are these, the ones I like to compare every single week to make sure that we're not going out of that data set. For example, max consec losers is 1. If I go to max consec losers 2, I would consider re-optimizing. The slingshot, 21 trades, 80% win rate. Max drawdowns only $224. So again, these are things I want to compare each week. The roller coaster, 30 trades, $2,380 per month. VWAP predator, the most trades, 47 trades, $2,890 on average per month profit. Max drawdown, more trades, there's $769 max drawdown for that. But overall, you're talking with those together, combined average around about $9,400 profit per month, which is not bad. But you've got to ride those drawdowns as well. So, so that's my timetable and how I've optimized them to dovetail each other. And with the slingshot and the VWAP, they can both enhance and add contracts to a range breakout or a roller coaster trade. So let's go to the charts here. So we have the range breakout here, and what I wanted to do was to show you examples where we get additions from where they work together and dovetail together. So this is a range breakout here with the cyan down arrow, and then this is where it closed out at this point. You can see the profit trace just there. This is a range breakout on the 29th of May 2025. This is the VWAP Predator trade as well. So I'm going to go to the VWAP Predator now, and we can see the VWAP Predator is on 150 tick high Kanashi, so it's quite a fast time frame. But once that momentum goes, it really goes, and this is that trade there with the magenta. This is the trade for the range breakout. You can see here these sell signals did not get taken with the VWAP Predator because there's a 15 and a 30 minute automated support and resistance zone there, whereas on the range breakout we only use 60-minute zones because we're on a 10-minute time frame. But you can see at some stage we were 2 contracts in on this, so you would need around $20,000, $25,000 to be on the safe side, $20,000 in your account balance for margin if you were going to combine these. Some other examples here, we have a slingshot long. This is on, let's have a look at this date here. This is on the July the 11th, very recent. And we can see here, this is also a roller coaster at this time in the magenta. The green up arrow and the green where we're taken out is the slingshot. So again, these are working together, not against each other. You can't have the roller coaster running at the same time as the range breakout. So let's go to that roller coaster. This is the trade here in the magenta. Around about 10:07, we get tipped in, it pulls back, which then produces the slingshot signal to go long at this point here. This is where the slingshot eventually got taken out with a green. The roller coaster is a much more aggressive type of strategy, scalping strategy, 150 tick high Kanashi, and we can see that got taken out the train stop at that point there. Do notice though, even though we had differing time frames on the VWAP and the we had the VWAP and the range breakout here. So the VWAP was on 150 tick high Kanashi. The range breakout was on the 10-minute. Here we've got a 3-minute high Kanashi on the slingshot, but we got that 150 tick high Kanashi on there. So there's the differing time frames to be able to get those moves, and it's important when you're optimizing. So we can see here we had that really short move, but it was a good move, but at some stage we were 2 contracts in there again, so that margin requirement is important when we do that. So again, this is 4 different automated strategy builders, you know, looking at this optimization, dovetailing them, making sure they're not trading at the same time if they fight against each other. So we have range breakout Tuesday to Thursday, roller coaster on the days that isn't trading, and then we can see there's some overlaps with the VWAP and the slingshot on all of them, because they, once momentum going, they can add more contracts, although they can trade on their own as well. That's really important to view that as well. So you know, slingshot's not just an addition, or the roller coaster's not just an addition. There are opportunities to trade there. So if we just go back to some more slingshot trades, when they just took on their own. Okay, there's one type 3 buy, got took in on its own. That was a trend failure. So again, there are opportunities for those to work on their own, but also work together. And so that's, you know, a brief advanced training for our ASBs. Check out the links below for all of the automated strategy builders for NinjaTrader, mainly for futures trading, and this is how to combine them really. This is for advanced users that are using more than one, and it's very important to timetable this. So I always start with my range breakout. This is my starter. I know it's not going to trade as many times in a 90-day period than the others, but it's my starting point, because then I know how to optimize the roller coaster, out of the times when the range breakout is active. And then when I'm optimizing the slingshot and the VWAP predator, I can look for those times which are going to overlap with both of those slingshots, the range breakout and the roller coaster, to give those opportunities to add more contracts to really strong moves. So it seems quite complex, but once you start going through the training boot camps for each individual one, this is the next step really to be able to understand how to sort of blend them together to get the most out of combining those ASPs. So check out those links below to get involved with the automated strategy builders only for the NinjaTrader platform.